Welcome. I know it's the end of the day. It's been a long trade show. It's been a great trade show, right? Everybody had a good time? So I was asked to speak about creating a culture of safety. In order to do that, though, we got to take a journey. All right, and I love journeys. We're taking a journey down my career path and how I got here. So we got to go back in time. 17 years ago. 17-year-old kid in high school. Didn't know a thing about tree work. Didn't even know it existed. Ice storm comes through Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm out of school. Got nothing to do. All right, I can deal with that. Down the street, we have some trees go down. So this red, beat-up pickup truck comes rolling down the street. We've all seen the kind. Gets out, got some raggedy clothes on, starts doing some tree work. So, 17-year-old kid, hear chainsaws running. Let's go take a look. Start watching the guy. He goes, hey, you want to make some money? Yeah, 17-year-old kid. Who doesn't love money? I said, hey, just drag this brush to the street. The state's going to pick it up. We don't have to do a thing. Just get it to the road. They pay you to do this? Yeah, straight to the road. All right, I can do this. So 2-3 days, dragging brush. We all know the rules. He goes, hey, can you climb a tree? Yeah, I can climb a tree. Sure. Grew up rock climbing. Why tree can't be that different? He goes, no big deal. Here's a double D weaver saddle. Here's a three-strand manila flip line buck strap and a set of Klein steel spikes. I said, okay. He goes, all you got to do is bear hug the tree, spike it on the way up till you get the spot, put your lanyard around, you'll have a chainsaw hanging down, and just fire the chainsaw up, and I'll tell you how to cut. Okay, yeah, I got this. I can do this. So I grab the tree, up the tree I go. Get up there, fire up my old pole lane chainsaw, because we all had the pole lanes when we started. I got to work. Went pretty well. Week went by, still no school, worked for the guy. One day, he left all of his equipment in my dad's garage because we were working on the same street. But he owed me about $2,000. He showed up. My dad's a much larger individual than me. My dad held the California collegiate deadlift record for 20 years. He's a very large individual, still is to this day. And my dad met him outside and said, hey, you owe my son some money. So we're going to hold on to the gear until you pay. And the guy got mad, stormed off. 17-year-old kid, again, didn't listen to my father a whole lot. I got my Jeep. Drove for the guy's days, I think it was a Motel 8. Knocked on the door, opened the door, drugs everywhere. You know the type. Say, hey man, you owe me money. I ain't paying you, blah, blah, blah. Ring a ring, 911, PD, click. Hooked up for 4 states. He wanted in 4 states. I was left with all the gear. My dad said, son, I know you don't want to go to college. Start a tree company. Yeah, we can do that, Dad. Let's do that. So we started a tree company up. Ran my company for 14 years. Sold my company off because I thought I wanted to do something different with my life. And after investing a ton of money in education that I'm still paying back and not using, I returned to the tree care industry. I'm now a contract trainer and consultant. I travel the world training people in how to do tree work safely. Why safely, we say? You started off over here climbing trees, holding on to them. No even ropes. How are we talking about safely? Got to take another time back, 8 years ago, March 2nd. Good friend of mine died doing tree work. That day, he fell 75 feet, snapped his neck. I didn't climb for 6 months. Couldn't get in a tree. Said, I'm never teaching anybody else to climb ever again. Done. I'll do it because I'm safe, but ain't nobody else doing it. My mentor in life, Tim Walsh, came to me and said, hey, you've got one of 2 choices, Travis. You either teach people how to do it rightly and never bury another body, or you don't teach anybody ever again, but they're still going to learn. So what do you want to do? And I'm sorry, folks. He said 8 years ago. It still gets me. I said, you're right. So I started on a journey of how to make our industry safely. I don't have any answers, folks, but I have some thoughts, and we're going to talk about some of those thoughts. All right. And who are we safe for? Are we safe for the numbers of the industry? So Dr. John Ball's numbers go down every year? No. Are we safe for you? Is that what you're being safe for? No. We all have somebody that we love. We all have somebody that loves us. We all have something we love. I love fly fishing. Okay? Tim Walsh and I, again, got together and said, hey, I believe safety has to have a backbone. That backbone has to have a connection. So folks that work for Dave, you know this. They came up with these little green cards. Right? Put in people's helmets. Inside that helmet, You slide a picture in of whatever you love, whatever it is that you're going to be safe for. Start with a commitment. It's a commitment to being safe. But safety it's a personal decision because only you can affect it. You have to be safe for you. So it starts with you being safe for someone. All right? But it's bigger than you. It's much bigger than you. You're a part of an industry, a worldwide industry. Safety is bigger than you. Safety is about the industry. If I'm safer and I'm working every day to be safer and I'm helping those other people that I'm around to be safer, we all grow as an industry. And I know a lot of folks out there, because I used to be one of them, will point our fingers at the red pickup truck rolling down the road. That half-price Harry. Man, making us all look bad. Hacksaw job, topping trees, not wearing his PPE. Not us. We got nice pretty rigs. Got the brand new crane to show floor. Going home with me. I'm better than that. You better than me? That's where I started. And if you think about it, every single one of you started there at some point. Maybe it was for an hour. Maybe it was for a day, a year, 5 years. But you all started there. Because nobody's born into this world with an innate knowledge how to do tree work. Somebody invested in you. Somebody took time to work with you, to make you where you are today. If it wasn't for that person, I could argue that you would still be maybe in the red pickup truck rolling down the road. No different. So when we point our fingers at those individuals that are bringing us down, you're really pointing your fingers at yourself. TCIA every month sends out magazines for free. All you gotta do is subscribe. It's got tons of great articles in there. But also, and my monitor in the back, Peggy Drescher, out of Illinois, can attest to this, they also send all the ROCs boxes every month of the previous month's catalogs. Boxes. I was an ROC with TCI for a year and a half. I threw away so many magazines. Find out how to get copies of those old magazines. Keep them in your trucks. When you stop for fuel, you stop for lunch, and that other tree crews were there, the guys you're pointing your fingers at, girls pointing your fingers at, hand a magazine out. It's free. Take the time to be that person that invests in them like somebody invested in you. All right? So it starts with you. It's bigger than you. But it's not about how we start, but where we end up. 17 years ago, there's no way I thought I'd be standing on stage, conference here in Charlotte, North Carolina, giving this speech. No way. Never thought what I have done has led me to the places it's led me in this world. Right? So it's not how you start, but how you end. But in order to truly understand why you have to be safe, we got to go a little deeper. All right, and I said this is bigger than us, right? This is a profession. And in a profession, we have professionals. We all claim to be a professional, a master of our craft. A master of your craft does these things. These individuals were masters of their craft. It said it takes 10,000 hours of beating on your craft to be a master at it. 10,000 hours. Think about that. Of your craft. That's 10,000 hours of this. That's 10,000 hours of leg lock chainsaw start. That's 10,000 hours of felling notches to be considered a master of your craft. So you put in the time, you do the hours. There's no shortcuts. Each one of these individuals practice relentlessly at their craft. Never once do they take days off. Never once do they say, oh, just this one time I can do it this way. Michael Jordan, born and bred here in North Carolina, played at UNC, said he did thousands of free throws on his court in his backyard that nobody ever saw. Never taking shortcuts. Would have been easier to go inside. No, master of his craft. We have to be deliberate in our actions. What does that mean? Deliberate in your actions. I picked this up from a book I actually finished recently by David Marquette called Turn the Ship Around. David Marquette was a naval submarine captain, or commander. He couldn't figure out why he kept having mistakes on his vessel. He couldn't figure it out. Nuclear submarine. You really don't want mistakes in that environment. It's not really where you want to push the wrong button. So he came up with this theory of being deliberate in his acts. Thinking about doing something, and doing it with purpose and intent is being deliberate in your acts. To be safe, you must be deliberate in your acts. You got to create habits. Habits are something you repeat over and over and over. For me, those habits are I always stow my saws on my right side. My chainsaw stows on my right, my handsaw stows on my right. Always. 2 months ago, I had a chainsaw injury. I had a cut. Cut my hand right here on a non-running chainsaw. Because I moved my chainsaw from my right to my left in a Bradford pear. I grabbed a branch, hand sawed it out, went to flip it by me, flipped it on my left side like I always do. But what had I done? Hung my chainsaw there. 201 with a brand new chain on it. Sliced me wide open like a fillet knife. Didn't stick to my habits. I had a habit for a reason, to be safe. I changed my habit. Got to be disciplined. You have to be disciplined. And discipline, they say, is loving yourself. For those people who enjoy food, I love food. I am a foodie. But I also enjoy being active. If I ate as much food as I love, I would not be able to do half the things I do in life. But I love food. But I love myself more. So I stop myself from eating the entire Little Caesars pizza that I know I can eat. I stop myself from getting the milkshake at McDonald's when we stop at the truck that I know I want. Because I love myself more. That's discipline. You must be disciplined in your craft to be safe in your craft. And good enough never is. You always can be better. That's why you're here. You're here for education. Because if you thought you knew it all, why would you come to a conference? You know it all. You come here for more. But whose fault is safety? Whose responsibility is safety? The world we live in has kind of taught us some things. And I firmly believe the world has kind of taught us some wrong things. We have this belief system that everybody cares about me. Everybody cares about me. Everybody's going to look after me. Everybody's going to take care of me. Is that reality? No. Safety starts with me. If I'm not safe, I have nobody to blame but myself. It's an accountability thing. You have to be accountable. You have to be accountable to yourself first. You have to be accountable to your crew second. Accountable to your company and your family third. Whether you believe it or not, you're in a relationship. You're in a relationship with the company you're with. It might be a short-term relationship or it might be a long-term relationship, but it is a relationship. You owe them some accountability on your safety. They've invested time, money, and effort into you. You owe them that. You must be accountable for who you are. Right? But does safety first work? I've heard that a lot. Safety first. Mom always says it when she has a phone, Travis, be safe. I'm like, Mom, I never go out going, today I'm going to be unsafe. Yeah. It doesn't happen. I'm a full-time firefighter for the City of Durham Fire Department. I'm on a helicopter response team for flood disaster rescue. I have a tendency to do all very dangerous occupations. Never once do I enter into these occupations going, today's the day I'm going to be unsafe. No. But why do we always say that? Be safe. Safety first. Safety is everybody's responsibility. Or the one I love the most, everyone's a safety officer and they can tell you to stop. It's a bunch of bull. Your safety comes first for you. It has to come first for you. Because if I'm being safe for me, and the rest of my crew is being safe for them, we're being safe for each other. But if I'm always busy about focusing on them, they become reliant upon me for their safety. My ground crew now doesn't look up when they walk under the trees I'm cutting. They wait for an all clear that I might not have given. And they have a near miss. Or a struck by, leading cause of fatality in our industry. Okay? Because they have become complacent in me being accountable for their safety. It's a fallacy. We've been tricked into believing. It's not real. You are accountable for your safety. But you're a leader. Whether you want to believe it or not, you are here, which tells me you are a leader. You are a leader in what you do. You're a leader in your crews. But being a leader has there's a little bit that goes with that. It's not a blank check. You don't get to be a leader without having some accountability to that. You don't get to be a leader without having some responsibility to that. People go, Travis, I don't understand. This isn't a leadership talk. This is the safety talk. Okay? Well, if I'm a leader, what are some principles of a leader? Well, they do the right thing. Hopefully. Integrity is big for leadership. I always hear that leadership talks I give. Number one quality for a good leader, integrity. Integrity is not shortcuts. Integrity is not saying the rules don't apply to me. I've been called PPE police. I've been called the Z-133 Nazi. I've been called it all by people who don't want to conform to those things. Do I agree with everything in that book? Yeah, I do. 100%. It's there for a reason. I have a choice as a leader. I have a choice as a leader in the industry to say, I'm either going to believe this manual that is written by us, for us, or I'm not. A lot of people don't realize that. Anybody can be a part of the Z-133 committee. Anybody can be a part of that standard. We're currently in a new revision cycle right now. I had the honor to be given a task chair position for felling and rigging. Does not mean I get to write those sections to whatever Travis thinks. What that means is, in this revision, we're going to put it out for public comment. It means every single person who does tree work can write me a comment about why they think it should be this, or why they don't look like this, or why they disagree with this, or why this is stupid. And I have to take time with my task group and answer every single person as to why we agree, and if why we disagree, why we have factual data to back why we disagree. It's a 5-year process for a reason to write that manual. But anybody can be involved. Next meeting is in April, Baltimore, Maryland. It's open to anybody. Come, please come. Please. The fallacy is that it's a bunch of people who sit in a room writing this document. No, it's a bunch of leaders who sit in a room writing a document. If you want to change the way a document's written, be a leader. But safety is a leadership credential. Whether you're a crew leader, whether you're a branch manager, whether you ride in that rake every day, you're a leader. You're a leader to yourself first, and you're a leader to your crew. A leader has some principles. So, you go, all right, I'm going to be a leader. I'm going to be safe. How do I do that? I've gone for 5 years, Travis, doing the exact thing you did. Steel climb spikes, up the tree I go. Well, first, you got to think different. You have to change the way you visualize and the way you think. Your thoughts dictate your actions. When you begin to change the way you perceive things, when you begin to change the way that you look at the world, the way you look at your job sites, the way you look at your crews, your actions will begin to change as well. A lot of guys I could talk to, I go, said, travel all over. Ask them, hey, tell me about your crew. Tell me about the people you work with. I know their names. Okay, I know their names. It's on their helmet. What else you got? Tell me some more. What I find out is crews very rarely actually get to know each other. They ride in a truck and they talk about, basketball games or football games or stupid political things. And they talk about the surface level stuff. But they don't truly ever get to know each other. And I'm like, wow, you guys are missing out. My ground tech and myself, best friends. My ground tech goes with me on a contract, my best friend. We know each other. I know his wife. We do Thanksgiving together. We do Christmas together. Best friends. So now, when I'm on a job site, I'm looking at something, I'm going, ooh, Ben, I know I can rig that, but I don't like the position that's going to put you in, buddy. It's a bad spot for you. We need to move. We need to do this differently. Or Ben goes, Travis, I know you just had David Driver's talk, and I know you want to go big. You're not David Driver, buddy. Let's just back it on down. All right? We hold each other accountable. All right? We're leaders to each other. But it came from changing the way we thought first. then it dictated how we act. We think of each other differently. We're not just crew members. We're not just workers. We're friends, partners. You work with these individuals 40, 50, 60 hours a week sometimes. How do you not know them? Because when you get to know them, really, really know them, birth dates, t-ball games, you start doing things together. It's why I love being a fireman. We're a family. And we're a strong family. The tree industry is a family too. Your crew is part of your family. Get to know your family. Now, I've got some family I don't like to hang out with. I understand that. All right? Got 2 older sisters. Love my older sisters, but I was always dressed up in a Cabbage Patch with all kids as a kid. It's traumatized me for life. All right? Love them to death. I do 3 days. That's it. Fish and guests go bad in 3 days. All right? So, I love them. That's it. You're going to have people you work with that you don't love. You're going to have people you work with that you don't like. Get over it. Because at some point, their life might be in your hands. And you might want them to act different based on how they think. I always hear people, I've done it this way my whole life. I just can't change. I've been doing this for 30 years. I don't know any other way. It's a bunch of bull. All right? And I'm sorry if that offends people in the crowd. That's a lie. And it's a lie you tell yourself. If you want something, you can find a way. All right? You can find a way to do it. There's a story of this gentleman out in California. Wanted to be successful. Wanted it so bad. Did everything he did is working every hour of the day. You know, you get 24 hours a day, 86,400 seconds. He was using all of them for success. Couldn't achieve it. So he goes and finds this guru. He says, Guru, teach me how to be successful. He said, okay. Meet me on the beach tomorrow morning at 4:30. I'll teach you how to be successful. The guy was like, beach? No, I don't want to learn how to swim. I want to learn how to be successful. I said, I understand. Meet me tomorrow morning at 4:30 on the beach. This guy shows up at the beach, and he is dressed. I mean, just ghost pinstripe suit, 3-piece, 3-button. It is looking sharp. Sun's rising up. Here comes the guru walking up in typical guru clothes. Walks out to the water's edge, stands there. Looks at the guy and says, come here. Guys. All right. Walks out there. Now he's got his nice shoes. Water's lapping him. He's like, I want to be successful. He says, I know. Walks out knee deep. Says, come here. The guy goes, no, you don't understand. I don't want to learn how to swim. I want to be successful. He says, I know. Come here. So the guy's like, you know what? I've come this far. Go a little further. Now he's knee deep. Guy was smart though. Left his shoes on the beach. Probably got him stolen in L.A., but that's all right. Walks out there. He gets right next to the guru. Guru says, come on. Walks out chest level. Guy's like, you got to be kidding me, man. Whatever. Walks out chest level. Gets out chest level. All of a sudden, he feels on the nape of his neck, Guru's hand. Whoosh! In the water he goes. Guy's fighting. Clawing. Breathing everything he can to get up. Right as he starts to go limp, Guru picks him up. Why'd you do that? He said, what were you thinking about when you took your last breath? What was the thought on your mind? He said, to breathe. He said, when you want to be successful, as bad as you want to breathe, you will be successful. So for those individuals in the crowd who one-hand a chainsaw and say, I can't do it any other way, you can. When you want to be a leader, when you want to be safe, as bad as you want to breathe, you can be safe. You can stop one-hand chainsaw. Real quick, show of hands. Who here has buried a fellow arborist? One person other than me that I see. One. When you want to be safe, as bad as you don't ever want to bury another friend, you'll be safe. It's that simple. There's no tricks about it. Yes, other countries can one-hand saws. I'm sorry, if you don't like it, move there. If we had that provision here to one-hand saws, I'd be all about it. We don't. All right? Also, to order one-hand saw in another country, you have to wear full chainsaw protection. That is from here all the way down. You also have the provision license to do it. So when you tell me that you're willing to do all those things as well, come see me. Because what it is excuses we give of why we're not safe. It's faster. I'm more efficient. I'm safe one-handing a saw. I've been doing it all my life. You ever cut yourself? 9 out of 10 people one-hand saws have cut themselves, by the way. We know that from statistics. Because if your hand's not on the saw with both of them, it's kind of hard to do this. But I take my hand off, it becomes pretty easy. And I'm not trying to call anybody out, and I'm sorry if that antagonizes you. Come see me, I'll give you a hug. But I don't want to bury any more arborists. I don't want to go to any more funerals. I'm tired of opening up my computer on Monday morning to read TCIA's injury report and seeing somebody else fall off a bucket truck because they chose not to wear a fall arrest harness, because they were lazy. Because that's what it comes down to, right? Laziness. You didn't put it on. Or the company owner was lazy in buying it. And at that point, send the company owner my way. I will gladly call OSHA, because that's a willful, negligent violation, up to 10 years in prison. Gladly. Don't be lazy. When you want something as bad as you want to breathe, you can do it. But we all have excuses. We all have reasons why we don't do something, why we're not safe. Right? Who here has had an incident doing tree work? I call it an incident for a reason. I don't call it an accident. I don't believe accidents exist in tree work, and here's why. For an accident to occur, the tree had to come to your house, knock on the door, you had to open the door, and the tree had to punch you in the face. All right? Accident implies you did nothing and something occurred. We have incidents because you did something. You did something for that incident to occur. Well, if you did something, that means you could have had other options. You could have gone a different route. You could have walked away from the tree. I've got some friends in the room that are contract climbers that I know very well, like me, that have walked away from jobs because they're like, it ain't worth that. We make pretty good money as contract climbers, don't we? Yeah. I like to spend money that I make. I can't spend it in a pine box. No tree is worth dying over, let alone getting a hangnail over. But you have to change the way you think before you change the way you act. That's the big issue. We think, oh, I've done it 1,000 times this way, and it hurt me. I've cut one-handed 1,000 times and never got hurt. I've rode up in the bucket truck 1,000 times without a harness on, never been hurt. The problem with our industry is, unlike many industries, when you have an incident, generally speaking, it results pretty badly. Very few things you can do in tree work, when they go wrong, end up in a boo-boo. Usually they end up in a hospital visit or a morgue visit. All right. So we have to change the way we think, change the way we act. If you want something bad enough, you find a way to do it. But why? Why? What's the point? We do work, we do it fine the way it is. I don't need a change to do everything that Z133 tells me to. Why? Think about this for a second. Who in the room owns an iPhone? All right. Who in the room owns an Android? That's pretty much everybody. Everybody should have their hands up at some point now. You realize you bought a phone to talk to people from a company that makes speakers and TVs. Let that sink in for a second. You didn't buy a phone from AT&T, phone company. You bought a phone from a speaker manufacturer, and Walkmans is, a lot of things. And, I forgot. If you get old, spin the dock on the phone, push the button, a music company, the iPod, and a TV company. Why? Because you didn't buy what they do, you bought why they do it. Apple figured that out a long time ago. If I can touch you in your heart, if I can resonate with you on a personal level, I can get you to buy any product I make. Samsung figured that out too. A little bit later in the game, they figured it out. You don't buy things just because you want it. You buy it because of the why. When you start changing the way you do business in your company, when you start changing the way you think in your company, start changing the way you act in your company, your customers will see that. They'll see so-and-so's tree service is different. I don't know what it is about them. I can't put my finger on it. But if they show up, they're different. They care about each other. One of the greatest compliments a company owner ever gave me from a customer was, hey man, your guys came out, they did a stellar job, but watching the way your guys taught each other how to do things when they needed help was amazing. He didn't care about how great we double weight tackled this piece out over his house. He didn't care about the great cleanup we did. At the heart, what he said is he cared about how you took care of each other. That's noticeable. It's noticeable in the way we keep our trucks. It's noticeable in how we treat each other on job sites. Right? And I understand tree work can get stressful. Emotions can run high. But when you've got to know each other and you've figured out who's who and what makes you click, I know how to push Ben's buttons. Ben knows how to push my buttons. He pushes my buttons, I make a giant mess for him. Pick up sticks. Have fun. I push his buttons. When I'm calling for a saw, he's like, get it later. We know how to push each other's buttons, but we know also how to read each other. He knows, for me, one of my telltale signs, he can tell you this if you talk to him. When I get nervous at the top of a tree, of a sketchy tree, I talk a lot. He knows that. He knows that's my way of saying, I'm not too sure about that. What does he do? He'll be all right, buddy. We got this. No worries. He never asked me, hey, dog, you good? He knows. He knows how to read me because we've got to that point in our relationship. I know how to read him. Sat through a leadership conference 2 weeks ago in another city. Saw a great example. Think of a Coke can. We all seen a can of Coke. Start shaking it up. Pass it to your buddy, shake it up. Pass it to your buddy, shake it up. Now open that Coke can, what happens? Everywhere. Now imagine that can of Coke is a person. And that morning before they left for work, their kids flushed their car keys down the toilet. Shake the can up. They got in the car would start to lift, the wife left the headlights on all night. Shake the can up. Driving in, they got cut off by a school bus and were 5 minutes late. That was their fourth 5 minutes, that's their fourth late in a year, and now they're going to get docked some pay. Shake the can up. And now you're on a job site, and you're frustrated because something happened and you pop off because you didn't learn how to read them. What'd you just do? Psst. Get to know your people. Why we do what we do makes us special. Because let me go ahead and tell you, I'm going to give you a big secret. Shh, don't tell anybody. There's no different way to do tree work. We're all doing the same thing. There's no secrets. Your chainsaw chain turns the same way my chainsaw chain turns. That tree falls to the ground the same way in North Carolina as it does in California. There's no secrets. What makes your company successful or unsuccessful is the way in which your customer views you. The why you do what you do, not the what that you do. It's time for a change, folks. It's time. We're killing 100 arborists a year. And that's the statistics that we know about. I've heard this as much as we're only capturing 50% of the actual data. So in actuality, we're killing 214 arborists a year. 214. That's more people than are in this room in 1 year. That's coming in here and clean slating this entire room. Done. You don't go to work tomorrow. It's time for a change. I hear people talk about safety all the time, to the point I'm just sick of it. Because at some point, you got to stop talking. It's time to walk the walk. One of my dad's sayings always as a kid, Travis, got to talk the talk and walk the walk. If it ain't good enough, just talk it. Got to walk it. We're there, folks. We have more technology than we've ever had in our industry. We're recognized by the U.S. government as an actual skilled trade now. We've got conferences, we've got trade shows full of people trying to sell you equipment and tools to do your job. Welcome to being a professional. It's time to act like it. I don't know what it's going to take to stop reading reports every week of people dying in our industry, but I got a theory, and it starts with each one of us. It starts in how we think. It starts in how we act. It starts in how we interact with the other tree companies in our area. It says sitting in the truck laughing at, look at that. That truck's painted 3 different colors. Old rattle can truck. It starts with us. And until we become accountable to that, until we take personal ownership of that, we're going to continue to read every week of somebody dying. This isn't about me. It's much bigger than that, folks. It's much bigger. And I'm not standing on the stage throwing knives. I swear to you, because all the things that I've done wrong, to be here is amazing that I'm alive. I've had numerous near misses as I was learning how to do it the wrong way. Numerous near misses. It's a miracle that I'm alive. So I am just like everybody else in the room. I am not special. Just for some reason, TCI likes to hear my voice. Don't know why. But it's time. It starts with you, though. It can't start from a company owner forcing it on you. It can't take some company owner going, you're going to be safe today. No. It starts with you. You've got to make a choice every single day. Will Smith, one of his greatest quotes, says, nobody sets out to build a perfect wall. You set out to lay the perfect brick. And then you lay the next perfect brick. And you lay the next perfect brick. And eventually you look back and you got a perfect wall. Safety is a personal choice that starts within every act you do. It starts in laying that perfect job briefing. That perfect not drop starting assault. That perfect felling plan. Over and over and over. And guess what? Some days you're going to get it wrong. And that's okay. Some days you're going to go, man, I really dropped the ball today. God, I'm sorry, folks. Tomorrow we're going to try again. And you go back the next day. Boom. Boom. It starts with you. You have to master your craft each and every day. There's no days off in that. Because the one day you take a day off, you sling a Bradford across your saddle and rip your hand wide open on your saw that you put on your left side that you always put on your right side. You have to be diligent in mastering your craft. Company owners who are out on job sites, you also have to master your craft. I'm a firm believer in the inverse pyramid of leadership. Company owners, you are at the very bottom of the train. Your job is to support everybody above you, and that's your workforce. Because you can't do all your jobs yourself. That's why you got workers. But company owners that sit in their office all day long and just expect their workers to bleed and sweat for them to make them capital, but don't want to do anything to help you out, go find a new company. That's not the way it works. All right. We're a skilled trade industry. We're a service industry. I don't care what you're doing. At the end of the day, it's people. Your greatest commodity is not your equipment. Your greatest commodity is not your saws or your insurance plan. Your greatest commodity as a company owner is your workforce. You have to invest in your workforce. And I'm not trying to call anybody out again. But if you got a guy who's come and say, hey, I really need a new pair of chainsaw pants, go buy the freaking chainsaw pants. Come on. I've gone to so many job sites, I walk up, guys are in chaps that come to their shins. Come on. I know how much we make. Save that somewhere else. Starts every person being a master of their craft. You are the leaders of today. Our workforce is changing. The baby boomer generation is aging out and retiring. We have more need for workers now than we ever have had before. We don't know where we're getting them from. Every company I ever talk to, Travis, my biggest problem is I can't get workers. I cannot get workers. Well, there's only two ways to solve that, right? Either start stealing them from other industries that you're not currently involved in, that looking for work, or start building your workforce. I'm a big fan. Get involved in the college systems. Get involved in the high school systems. Get involved in FFA. Start building the workforce that you want. It's time. The U.S. military has done it for years. It works great for them. You go to boot camp, they break you down, they build you up to what they want. Works beautifully. Why can't we? North American Training Institute started their arborist boot camp. Probably one of the greatest ideas for training I've ever seen. Like when I heard that, I went to Tony and I was like, you're a genius. Like I want to shake your hand and hug you and kiss you on the cheek. You're a genius. It's brilliant. Every company can do that. I've heard before, got too much work. I don't have time to do it your way, Travis. I don't have time to be safe. If you haven't had a life-changing incident yet, eventually you don't take time to be safe, you will be forced to take time to recover from an injury. Or even worse, you'll have no time left. Starts with you. It starts with a personal choice. It starts with a commitment. A commitment to why you're going to be safe. Who you're going to be safe for. Maybe you're not married. Maybe you don't have kids. Maybe you've got a prize 69 Chevelle that is just your baby. You know, the kind that you shine with a diaper. All right? Maybe you're me. You love fly fishing. All right? You got to love. Maybe you got kids that you want to watch your daughter grow up. You want to walk her down the aisle. Is that worth a tree? This is your kid. Maybe you've got a son who's going to play t-ball, who's going to grow up to play in the majors. And you want to be there on opening night when he gets the bat for his first time. Not sitting at home because you can't hear because you chose not to wear earring protection. You only have 2 ears, folks, and you can wear the conical ear implants. But why lose what you have? So when everybody's at that stadium and he hits that perfect ball, you don't hear any of that. Because you chose to take a shortcut. Because you chose, I don't need that. I've been doing it all my life. I don't need that. Married. Wife, when you're getting older, you're going to retire. Maybe you're going to go live at the beach. Maybe that's your dream. I want to live at the beach and just do beach things. I want to own me a boat, go fishing, live the Kenny Chesney life. Maybe you want to go live in the mountains. Yeah? It's going to be beautiful. All the sunsets and all the sunrises you're going to see, they're going to be epic. But you ain't going to see them because you chose not to wear your safety glasses. You lost your eyesight for a freaking tree. I mean, let's be honest here, folks. I can say this, and this is going to sound very conceited, I know, but I'm a firefighter. I get a chance to save people's lives for a living, and I don't take risks that are going to hurt me there. Why would I take risks at a tree that isn't going to do me any good but make me some money? I'm going to lose out on all these things in life for some cheddar, some greenbacks, some paper. Is it worth it? Is it truly worth it? Because that's what you're choosing. When you choose not to be safe, you are choosing to put something else ahead of you, what's important to you, what's important to your family. Every single time you make that choice. Starts up here. Starts in how you think. Starts in how you approach job sites. Starts in the things that you look at, how you look at things. Starts in how you bid jobs. Starts in being able to know when to walk away when it's outside your skill set. Starts there. Then it changes how you act. It influences how you act. I'm a walking, talking, breathing example of this. I literally would bear hug a pine tree and spike it and go around branches and then clip in with my manila lanyard, pull my saw up and blow tops and walk my way down. Now I do competitive tree climbing, climb on the most advanced equipment out there. Get the opportunity to speak all the time and teach students at 2 different universities how to climb trees correctly. From the kid who didn't know a thing about what he was doing. So don't give me this bull that you can't change. You can. It starts how you think. Affects how you act. Be a leader. Lead in your own personal life. Lead in your crew's lives. Get to know your crews. Get to know each other. Get to figure out how each other think and talk and work. What becomes truly beautiful on a crew. And I've seen this only a handful of times. I go to job sites and almost nobody talks. And it's seamless. That's a thing of beauty. Because they know each other so well. They know what the other person's thinking and going to do before they even do it. That's beautiful. They didn't get there overnight, though. They had to get to know each other. They had to learn each other. They had to work with each other. They had to invest in one another. They had to stick it through the company together when things were rough. And they wanted to go to another company because they wanted to chase dollar bills. Climbers, I know who you are. Because I'm one. Sometimes it's not about chasing money. It's about staying with a company that believes in you. The company that gave you that chance. The company that invested in you. And said, hey, I see something in you. Yeah, I know there's greener pastures out there. I'm sorry I can't offer that. But I believe in you. Something be said there. At the end of the day, all we are is family. Every single one of y'all is family to me. Because we all go home at the end of the day with chainsaw in dust in our pockets. Kick off our work boots because we know that feeling when you take those work boots off at the end of the day. Another day done. We know what it's like when you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh, I'm getting old. We're family. Because we're family, this is how you can reach me. Anytime, any day. You can find me. For those of you who just sat through all of my wonderful words for CEU codes, top left corner. Jolly Roger's my brand. Edward Teach, Blackbeard, born out of Bath, North Carolina. Greatest pirate of all time. All right? But I truly believe I will teach until no more die. When we have a year that no more die, you will find me in the Caribbean on a boat. And I will not be here. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you've enjoyed the conference. Enjoy tomorrow.